Hello, this is David. Once again, my appreciation. Thank you so much for your time. And today we're going to be looking at the topic healing as release from fear. In other words, what is healing? Healing is the release from fear. It's a different kind of definition from what we're used to. The typical dictionary definition of healing doesn't say that healing is a release from fear, but the cause says that it is. Okay? Let's look at some differences. The miracle is the means, the atonement is the principle, and healing is the result. To speak of a miracle of healing is to combine two orders of reality inappropriately. Healing is not a miracle. The atonement, or the final miracle, is a remedy. And any type of healing is a result. Okay? Let's slow down. What they're saying is, healing, any type of healing, is an end result. Okay? An end result of what? The release from fear. Okay? The release from fear using what? And by the way, when we use the word fear, I also think of the illusion of separation and all that, the belief in separation, because without one, there is no the other, and vice versa. So, healing is the result. The result of what? Of the release from fear. Okay? Using what means? The means being used here is the miracle. Okay? Yeah? And so when they say, like, what they're saying here is that when you say the miracle of healing, it's incorrect because you're saying you're combining two orders of reality. Healing is a result. A miracle is the means that gets you to the result. Okay? Healing itself is not a miracle. The atonement, also called the final miracle, because once that happens, there'll be no longer any need for miracles, because we know miracles are there to bring us closer to who we really are. Okay? The atonement is a remedy, as in you're finally fully healed from fear or the illusion or the belief in separation. Okay? Now, the kind of error to which atonement is applied is irrelevant. All healing is essentially the release from fear. To undertake this, you cannot be fearful yourself. You do not understand healing because of your own fear. Let's look at levels. A major step in the atonement plan is to undo error at all levels. Sickness, or not right-mindedness, if we can use another word for sickness, is the result of level confusion, because it always entails the belief that what is amiss on one level can adversely affect another. In other words, what is wrong on one level can affect the other, what is missing on one level can affect the other. Okay? We have referred to miracles as the means of correcting level confusion. For all mistakes must be corrected at the level on which they occur. Okay? All mistakes must be corrected at the level on which they occur. And now, this is very important. Only the mind is capable of error. Only the mind is capable of error. The body can act wrongly only when it is responding to misthought. The body, and when we say body, we also mean all physicality, not just your body, all physicality. The body cannot create. And the belief that it can, a fundamental error, is really a fundamental error. The belief that it can produces all physical symptoms. Physical illnesses represent a belief in magic. The whole distortion that made magic rests on the belief that there is a creative ability in matter which the mind cannot control. Look at that last sentence. Remember, this course is not asking you to believe anything blindly. So you don't have to believe this blindly. But you can still think about it smartly. Think about this. Either it is true that, matter or physicality has some creative ability that the mind cannot control. Okay? You can believe that. Let's say that is, maybe you believe that is true. And maybe it's true. Maybe physicality has creative ability. And beyond that, the mind cannot control that creative ability. In other words, you're a victim of external, separate circumstances that are really separate, not as an illusion, but really separate from you. Those external physical circumstances have creative ability, and that creative ability is outside of your control and can attack you. That is a way that many of us look at the world. Now, think about this smartly. The Course is saying that is not the way the world really is. The Course is saying that only the mind can create, only the mind can have an error, or rather miscreate, and when that error happens, the mind projects it outside so that it appears as if you're living in, so that you experience your error. In any case, the mind always projects, always extends. But the extension when it's in error is called projection. So the Course is saying that you are still the one who's making all this stuff up. Now, if you believe you're not, then you're believing in magic. And this is the source of physical illness, level confusion. That's all it's saying. This error can take two forms. It can be believed that the mind can miscreate in the body and in physicality in general, or that the body and physicality in general can miscreate in the mind. You see? So there are two ways this error can take, two forms. That your mind can miscreate into physicality, or physicality itself can miscreate in the mind. When it is understood that the mind, the only level of creation that exists, cannot create beyond itself, neither type of confusion need occur. Okay. Let's just going to try and bring back that old slide. Sorry, we might have to go real quick because there's something I'd like us to discuss a little bit deeper. So please forgive the fact that we've gone backwards a little bit. Okay. Right, here we are again. When it is understood that the mind, the only level of creation, cannot create beyond itself, neither type of confusion need occur. That sentence is so powerful. I would like us to actually emphasize this sentence for a brief moment here. Number one, it's saying that the only level of creation is the mind, nowhere else. Okay? And then number two, it's saying that the mind cannot create beyond itself. What it's in a way trying to say, in my personal understanding, is that even physical reality lies within the mind. Okay? And once you see this, then the confusion is, it starts to disappear. Only the mind can create because spirit has already been created. Okay? And the body is a learning device for the mind. Do you see now? Learning devices are not lessons in themselves. Their purpose is merely to facilitate learning. The worst a faulty use of a learning device can do is to fail to facilitate learning. It has no power in itself to induce actual learning errors. In other words, you don't have to be afraid of physicality at all. Okay? Yeah. And also, spirit has already been created, and so only the mind can create, can extend. Now let's look at the body. Okay? The body, if properly misunderstood, shares the invulnerability of the atonement to two-edged application. This is not because the body is a miracle, but because it is not inherently open to misinterpretation. The body is merely part of your experience in the physical world. Its abilities can be and frequently are over-evaluated. In other words, we think the body is this all-powerful, independent, creative thing. And by the way, when we say body, we mean physicality, okay? And, of course, your actual body, okay? So, it's merely a projection of you. Let's put it that way, okay? However, it is almost impossible to deny the body's of existence in this world, or to deny the world itself, for that matter. So you cannot just close your eyes and say, oh yeah, this is an illusion, doesn't exist, nah, bah. You can't do that. It's almost impossible to deny its existence in this world, okay? Those who do so are engaging in a particularly unworthy form of denial. So the cause actually says that. The term unworthy here implies only that it is not necessary to protect the mind by denying the unmindful. Now, you know, it's not insulting you. All it's saying is that you're wasting your energy and your time protecting the mind by denying the body. It is not even necessary. That protection is not going to help at all, and it's completely unnecessary. If one denies this unfortunate aspect of the mind's power, one is also denying the power itself. If somebody denies the physical world, yeah, and they are calling it an unfortunate aspect of the mind's power because they're saying the mind's power, as amazing and grateful and awesome that it is, also has the power to miscreate. So that's why they're calling it an unfortunate aspect of the mind's power, the power to miscreate. So if one deny and not just miscreate, but miscreate physicality. So now if you deny physicality, you're also denying the power of the mind itself. So you don't have to do that. Healing the body. All material means that you accept as remedies for bodily ills are restatements of magic principles. Let's make it simple. Let's say if you take a tablet to get rid of a headache, or you take some medicine to get rid of a toothache or whatever it is, the cause is saying that this is a restatement of just magic principles. And by the way, when it says magic, it's not saying it kindly. It's saying magic is the illusion. It's not reality. Yeah, so it's when you see the word magic, don't take it like something that is desired. It's part of the illusion. This is the first step in believing that the body makes its own illness. So all material means that you accept as remedies for bodily ills are restatements of magic principles, and this is the first step in believing that the body makes its own illness. It is a second misstep to try to heal it through non-creative agents. So the first misstep is to believe that the body can make its own illness. It does not. Now the second misstep you can make after you believe the first is to try and heal it through non-creative agents, like, for example, pills and injections and medicine. However, the course says this: it does not follow, however, that the use of such agents for corrective purposes is evil. So the course is saying, don't worry, it's a misstep, but it's not evil. You don't have to be afraid that, if I take medicines, I'm committing evil. No, if you take medicines, you are not committing evil. It does not follow so. Okay? Now, check this out. Sometimes the illness has a sufficiently strong hold over the mind to render a person temporarily inaccessible to the atonement. In this case, it may be wise to utilize a compromise approach to mind and body, in which something from the outside is temporarily given healing belief. This is because the last thing that can help the non-right-minded or the sick is an increase in fear. The cause is saying that sometimes you can be so knee deep or waist deep in illnesses that your mind has been sort of locked into the illusion, and it's temporarily inaccessible to the atonement. And in this case, it would be very wise to take medicines, go to hospital, or do whatever it is. I'm just using the medical example here, but of course it could be something else. It could be, for example, in business. Maybe you're in such a grip of fear that you might want to hire consultants and do all these other fancy things. We're just giving examples here. Now let's take something from the outside and believe in it temporarily. And the Course says that is okay. Why? Because the last thing that can help a sick mind is more fear. So if you tell a mind that is already sick and trying to grasp for hope, and it says, I need medicines, and then you tell it, no, don't touch the medicine, just think positive, you're already increasing the fear, because it doesn't believe it. It doesn't believe that this is gonna work. So adding more fear is the last thing you can do to help a sick mind. Okay? A sick mind is already in a fear-weakened state. If they are prematurely exposed to a miracle, they may be precipitated into panic. This is likely to occur when upside-down perception has induced the belief that miracles are frightening. The value of the atonement does not lie in the manner in which it is expressed. In fact, if it is used truly, it will inevitably be expressed in whatever way is most helpful to the receiver. This means that a miracle, to attain its full efficacy, must be expressed in a language that the recipient can understand without fear. Miracles will always come to you in the way that you can accept them without fear. Therefore, you're higher. The more the fear you have, the more the miracle works. It kind of tries to sneak into your life because, it doesn't want to trigger those fears. But if you're fearless, then the truly shocking miracles, the ones that shock other people just because they seem to break the rules of physical reality, those ones can happen to you. A miracle, to attain its full efficacy, its full potential to heal or work, must come to you in a language or in a way that you can understand without fear. This does not necessarily mean that this is the highest level of communication of which that person is capable. No. It does mean, however, that it is the highest level of communication of which he is capable now. The whole aim of miracle is to raise the level of communication, not to lower it by increasing fear. Are you starting to see how beautiful this miracle thing is? At least I did. I grew up thinking that miracles are these amazing things that were performed a long time ago by a couple of guys, here and there, and they are no longer performed. And the point of a miracle is to show off and show the world how holy you are and how powerful you are and whatever. But the Course starts to make you realize that no, miracles are natural, they're everyday occurrences, they're universal, they come to you at the level of which you can understand, and their sole purpose is not showing off or making you rich or doing whatever. It is to awaken you from the illusion. That is the sole purpose of miracles. They are built in for that. Just like the way air, one of the purposes of air to you as a human being is to keep you alive. Miracles have a purpose, they're not random. So, thanks once again for your time. It's always a pleasure to be with you. Please go to the discussion forums. So see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.